ghastly with each report.
In 1969, Dodge built 18,344 Dodge Charger RTs, optioned with the 440 Magnum. Of that number, only 3,605 had the factory 4-speed in it. Of that demographic, only a handful were built with the special edition trim package. In future episodes of Graveyard Cars, you will be introduced to this very rare, very unique, one-owner Dodge Charger. Let me tell you what's cool about this car. The guy bought it brand new. It's still wearing its original T7 dark bronze poly paint. The engine is the original, numbers matching 375 horsepower, 440 Magnum. When you look under the hood, not only do you see the numbers matching original 440 Magnum, you see everything of the era that is correct. Yes, the upper radiator hose and the heater hoses have been replaced, but it has the original carburetor with the original tag on it, which is unique for a 440 and a 4-speed. An automatic would have had a different part number on it. Somebody's changed the valve covers out. AMD makes brand new ones. That will be part of the restoration. Look around the rest of the engine compartment. The original windshield washer reservoir, the original paint underneath the hood, the original bracket that held the heater hoses, the vacuum lines that are still wire tied together just like they did at the factory. This is a vast wealth of information and history that will be documented in future episodes and seasons of Graveyard Cars. Look at the fender tag. This thing reads like War and Peace. There's a lot of options on that thing. When you look at the fender tag, you're going to see all kinds of options, from the AM radio, which, believe it or not, was actually an option, to the black vinyl top, to the black bumblebee stripe. This car is optioned with the A47 right there, SE package. That comes with a ton of options, including leather interior. The bottom line is you're not going to want to miss a minute of the next 10 years of Graveyard Cars, the next 20 seasons of Graveyard Cars, because this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're building. We've got years of cars to restore. This is one of them. If you love Dodge, if you love real muscle, you're not going to want to miss a minute of Graveyard Cars. In a future season of Graveyard Cars, you are going to be introduced to this 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. This is an original 440 car. This car has more originality than any wing car I've ever worked on, looked at, seen, or read about. This is truly a time capsule. You got to keep in mind that they made 294 440 automatic Dodge Charger Daytonas. How many of them are still wearing their original paint? Whether it's checked or not checked, weathered or not weathered, how many are wearing their original paint? How many of them have the original paint on the spoilers? How many of them can you walk up to and say, this is mass manufacturing at its best, and look at a decal where the decal is supposed to line up with this decal, and they're literally 3/8 of an inch apart, and yet you cannot bring this deck lid forward to match and make those lines line up. That's mass production. That's what they were doing back in the 60s. People today say they were perfect. They weren't perfect. They weren't even close to perfect. I opened up the glove box. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life in one of these cars. This is an original bottle of V2 Hemi Orange touch-up paint. Invaluable. But when you take a look at the overall condition of this car, you realize that this is truly a time capsule. The driver's seat, while it is worn out and threadbare, so I had to have some black duct tape on it, it's just like this one. It's all there. It's all complete. The original headrest, which did come on all Daytonas because headrests were introduced mid-year 1969, and this was built late in 69, so it should have headrests on it. So look forward to seeing this car in future seasons of Graveyard Cars. The coolest thing about this car, besides having original paint on it, besides having the second day tires, besides the fact that the car is so original with 43,000 miles, here's something you don't see at Graveyard Cars.